Okay, now, how are you going to make yourself look more professional? Just by show of hands, how many of you have email addresses? Great. Now, how many of those email addresses finish off with Yahoo, Hotmail, Gmail, AOL, or I'm too cheap for my own domain.co.za? Okay, you can't do that. You cannot give people a business card with a Gmail or Hotmail account and a cell phone number and think they're going to give you their money. They're not. There's no credibility to it. You'd be amazed at the credibility that a simple domain has. Having your own domain, whatever it is, has credibility. Having a professional business card. Making sure there are no spelling mistakes in your proposals. And whatever you do, please, the person you're writing to, don't spell their name wrong. Okay, because that's how that proposal goes straight in the bin. So I say to you, why don't you have this? Why don't you have a website? Because it's too expensive. No problem. I have a client. They do build websites. First of all, they'll send you 4 logos for 295 Rand with the greatest of pleasure. 4 simple logos. You can have your domain registered for 150 Rand. You can get 1 year's hosting for 295. And you can have a simple, basic website built for about 295 Rand. There's really no excuse. And if you're going to move into social media, you can have a Twitter page, a Facebook page, and all this you can get at under 300 Rand.co.za. Small little business trying to get little businesses like yours out on the ground. But now I need to tell you, as a small business, it is a lot more important that we actually act professionally than we appear professional. And this is another place where we all fall down. You know, I'm standing in front of you all. I said to you guys, I'd like to buy you all lunch. End of the talk, I leave. You sit there going, but he said lunch. I didn't say when. I didn't say today. I just said one day I want to buy you lunch. You see, we leave our clients hanging in this particular stage. Now, more important than that, I want to show you something called the brand promise. Every single business makes a brand promise. You have a business. That's you up at the top there. You have a business, you have a service, you have a product, you have something you want to sell to people. At the bottom, those are your customers. They have the money. Let's clear something up right now. As small businesses, we want their money. Very often, what plumbers will do on the side of their van, it'll say 24-hour plumber, which means that at 3 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Eve, after one of my very drunk guests has broken the toilet, I should, in principle, be able to phone this guy and have him come and visit my house. But at 3 o'clock on New Year's Eve, he's not even answering his phone. So that's a broken brand promise. When I walk into a 1-hour photo shop and I say to the guy, I'd like to have my film done, he says, come back in an hour and a half. I go, but aren't you a 1-hour photo shop? That's a brand promise. My favorite broken brand promise is when I walk into my takeaway burger shop around the corner from me. And I look up at the boards and I go, I think I'll have a number 2. Then they deliver my food to me. Nah. That's a broken brand promise as well. When you have to say to them, menus are a brand promise, everything, your website. So you make a brand promise, and then you either deliver or you don't deliver on that promise. Simple as that. And when you don't deliver, what happens is your customers get on the phone and they phone you up and they say, we are very unhappy. But nowadays, they don't even bother phoning you. What do? They go onto the internet. They go onto Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and hellopeter.com. So you make a promise, then you get this report back, and then your decision is, should I change my promise or should I change my delivery? But I can't stay the same. Should I employ someone to answer my phone from 6 o'clock in the morning until, 12 o'clock at night until 6 in the morning, or should I change my business to 18-hour plumbers? But the big mistake is not doing it at all. Now, how many of you here employ people in your businesses? Do you have anyone who employs? Just a couple of... Well, one day, hopefully, your business will be big enough and you will employ people. Now, something completely different happens. You whip yourself out, and smack bang in the middle, we put a staff member, or maybe a franchisee. Now, 2 really serious gaps emerge. The first one I call the communication gap. That's between you and your staff members. And the second one I call the delivery gap. That's between your staff members and the public. Now, if I were to ask all those people who've ever worked for a boss to please stay behind, and all those people that employ people to please leave, and I asked you what you thought of my graph, you'd say to me, nice graph, Mike. I understand it. Don't worry too much about the delivery gap. The problem is that idiot that I work for. The first time I heard we had a special was when the customer came in carrying the advert. He didn't even bother to tell me. How am I supposed to deliver service when that's how he treats me? If I asked all those that work for people to leave and only asked the bosses to stay behind, you'd say to me, nice graph, Mike. Don't worry too much about the communication gap. The problem is those fools that I employ. When I send them a box of marketing material, on the outside of the box, I have to write there, open this box. And inside the box, I have to write there, please empty the whole box before you phone me to complain. The bottom line is that both these gaps exist, and they exist all the time. Your job as a business owner is to concentrate all your effort up there at the top, all on the communication gap. Is it with your staff? Is it with your customers? Communicate, 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 and you can turn your business around. First of all, it builds trust, gets you to be able to offer products and services, and most importantly, you will be perceived as an expert. That is so, so important for small businesses to be the expert in the minds of your customers. You're the person they can rely on. You're the person they can talk to. Another thing, it gives you outstanding familiarity and visibility. People see you all the time. They're exposed to you, your articles, your writing, whatever it is you do. And then it makes you credible, increases referrals, gets you new relationships, and very important, you get to demand higher prices. Why do all of this? Because basically all of that does is make you top of mind. And as a small business, if you're not going to be top of mind, you might as well be nowhere. You have to be people's first choice. You can't be their third or fourth choice. You have to be the business. I do corporate gifts. They must think about me first.